Now, pour the tea. Did I change my outfit again on the same day to record a video? Who's gonna know? Okay, so welcome to the 4th episode of Tales of a Not So Great Partner. Today we're going to be discussing the silent treatment. And to begin this discourse, I actually want to differentiate between stonewalling and the silent treatment. The reason for it is those can actually look like the same response, but two very different things are happening when it comes to the silent treatment and stonewalling. Let's get into it. Stonewalling is when someone emotionally shuts down and withdraws from a conversation, for example. So basically it can look like they're angry or it can look like they're ignoring you, but really what's happening is they have been emotionally flooded and they're overwhelmed. And right now, because they are flooded and emotionally overwhelmed, that goes into a trauma response. And there's like 6 different responses that can happen, which is fight, flight, freeze, fawn, and faint. And in this case, they are flighting. They're a flight risk. So it's basically avoidance because they're emotionally overwhelmed. Well, it comes across as that. So that's what's happening in stonewalling, okay? So it's not that the person doesn't want to communicate with you. It's that their body is so overwhelmed with emotions that they do not have the capacity to talk to you. While the silent treatment, so the silent treatment can come off as kind of like a childish game, as the individual is intentionally trying to disregard and make it seem like the person who's trying to, let's say their feelings doesn't exist. Okay, because that's a shitty feeling when someone pretends like you don't exist. Basically what they're doing is they're intentionally refusing to acknowledge you as a person. So that's the main component. In the silent treatment, it's an intentional thing that's happening. While for stonewalling, it's not so much intentional, it's that the individual is emotionally overwhelmed and they withdraw because of that. So that's a really important component because both the silent treatment and stonewalling look the same because it looks like you're being ignored. And another point to make about the silent treatment is that the intent is usually to hurt and win the conflict, okay? So the silent treatment doesn't really have nice intentions. It's not very nice. Okay, so let's get into the situation that I went through with my ex. Okay, so I'm gonna set the scene, like always. So it was our 6-month anniversary and I was excited because I was like, oh my god, my first adult relationship made it to 6 months. Fuck yeah. So I was excited. So I ordered a bouquet of roses. I know. So romantic. I ordered a bouquet of roses from BC and I wrote I didn't write it. I typed a little note that was printed and it was sent to his place. And so, yeah, so I kind of waited for that to kind of go through. I waited on the day of the anniversary and I didn't get shit. And I was like, oh, maybe he didn't get it yet. So it was a few days after, and that's when I was just I messaged him and I was like, hey, did a package come to your place yet? And he was kind of confused, what? And he's like, no, not yet. And I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, there's something that's coming. And so, he finally gets the package and I was like, yeah. And then he opened it. This bitch responded with, thanks for the gift. No, oh my god, happy anniversary. Thank you so much for the flowers. I so appreciate it. Nothing like that. I was like, oh my god, I completely forgot about our anniversary. Oh my god, thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate the flowers. Thank you for thinking about me. No, I didn't get that. You know what I got instead? I like quality time over gifts. Because I asked him, I was just like, hey, you don't really seem too thrilled about what I did. And that was his response. So I'm fuming at this point. Okay, I'm livid, unfathomably livid. Bro, I just did something so adorable. What the fuck you mean? And so then I responded with, hey, the least you could have done is just say, hey, I appreciate the thought and effort you put into buying me flowers, but I like quality time over gifts. The least you could have done is acknowledge and validated what I did. And so basically in response, he didn't respond. This man either turned off his phone or just ignored me because I tried to communicate with him to be like, hey, Why aren't you responding? And he just did that. And so because I had been gaslit so much, I was kind of going back and forth of standing up for myself. I was like, oh shit, I made a mistake. I was like, wait, I didn't do anything wrong. And so I was kind of like fighting with my own self with what was happening. Oh, I'm doing the Donald Trump dance. I don't support him. Just letting you know that. With that, silent treatment. So yeah, this man just gave me the silent treatment all night. And then the next day, he broke up with me. And honestly, that was the best gift he could have ever given me, honestly. Like, good riddance. I feel like I'm just salty because he got my ass. Like, because I like sent voicemails. I was like calling. Oh man, I was just like, I was frantic. So yeah, maybe I'm just a little salty because he got my ass, but still. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on the silent treatment. Let me know if you've been told that you've been giving the silent treatment when really you're like, oh shit, it's stonewalling. And you're like, oh no. Yeah, let me know. Let me know your thoughts, concerns, discourse, dialogue. Anyways, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Until the next one. Cheers. Bye.